What's up, everyone? Jacob Roach back here from Mixing with Metal. I know it's been a while, guys, and I'm really sorry for that because I've been really busy and I've been working on something new for you guys. So I've released my very first sample pack, and I'm going to show you how to use them today. Also, stay tuned towards the end of the video. I'm doing a giveaway. We've reached 1,000 subscribers. Now we're almost near 1,200, which is insane. So I'm going to do a giveaway at the end of the video, so stick around for that. But anyway, drum samples. How to use drum samples. This is bigger than just loading up a single sample. I want to show you how to blend samples specifically with this new pack that I just released. So let's get started here. Let's listen to these drums. I have processing on the overheads, on the bus, and then on these fake rooms. These two rooms are completely fake. They're just copied from this mono room and turned into a stereo room. I can show you how to do that in a future video. If you're interested, comment below and let me know about that. But anyway, here's where we're at right now with the drums. They sound pretty good. They sound really big. Let me mute these rooms really quick. You know, record nicely. Everything sounds good on them. So let's go ahead and spruce them up a little bit. Let's start with this kick. It's a really punchy kick. I actually really like that kick sound. Anyway, so let's load up Trigger here. Trigger, we have, go to our browser. We have our sample pack here. Now, in the sample pack, I have all the wave files, and I have all of the Slate Trigger files. In this case, we're going to load up the trigger files. Let's go to our kick. So you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different samples as well. We have 5 samples for the snare, 4 for both toms, okay? And what we have in the kick is we have a kick in, kick out, overhead kick, mono room, stereo room. Okay, and you may not use all of these. These are just options for you depending on what you need, okay? I have the mono to stereo version of the plugin load up just so I can use the stereo room and overhead if I want to, but it's not super necessary. Ultimately, with the kick, I would use the room samples if I record with a kick pad, which I often do. This case, I didn't, so it's not as necessary, but those options are there for you. So let's start with our simple mics. Let's start with the kick in and kick out. Oops, kick out. Super bassy. I love that. All right, and let's listen to what we have so far. All right, cool. So now we have something, right? We have a kick that sounds tighter. It sounds a little more defined. These are raw samples, so the intent of them is to eventually mix them, right? So they aren't supposed to be, you know, super hyped up samples. They're raw. You know, they're supposed to be raw. So that's our kick there. And then, you know, if I did some of this other processing, I don't even remember if this is going to sound good because this is an old session file, but cool. So that sounds better. So our kick is now ready to go. So let's start. Let's move on. Let's use our snare top here, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about methodology here. This is a little bit easier. Let me actually real quick. Let me load up this overhead sample. Actually, I take it back. I like it without it. All right, so anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit more about blending and methodology here with the snare because I'm going to load up all the samples because that's typically what I do with the snare. So we have a snare top and a snare bottom mic and a fake room, but I'm just going to use the snare top mic and use the samples to create that. So let's see here. Steven Slate, Trigger 2 mono stereo. Again, we want to use a mono stereo plugin. It's going to remove some after. That's fine. We want to use a mono stereo plugin so we can load up all of our samples. Let's go to the snare top, snare bottom. Cool. Overhead. I love that overhead sound. Room. Fake room. Mono. Great. All right. And so loaded up, all zeroed out. It's not going to sound very good, but here's where we're at. Actually, take that back. It doesn't sound bad. So let's go ahead and blend these through. So I'm going to start. I'm going to leave my snare top at Unity, and I'm going to mute all my others, and then blend the snare bottom in there. Cool. I like that. Now the overhead. Cool. Mono stereo room. All right, cool. So that's how we got our snare sound. So again, here's we start with raw and then with our samples. I'll bring those in. Cool. So now we got that. All right, let's move on to our toms here. Toms are especially important. It's especially useful to use samples on toms because of all the bleed, right? You rarely are hitting toms and the mics are always going, and it's a pain to get in there and cut out every single thing, and it can often sound unnatural, and it just gets really difficult. And so samples can be very, very useful on toms to get rid of that bleed. So let's go to a part here. All right, so let's load these up. This is my floor tom. Oh, it's because it's bypassed. There's our floor mic, our mono room, overhead, and our stereo room. Great. Same thing here. Same process. We're just going to go through and listen and blend them in. Set a larger retrigger time. There we go. Right. Overheads. A little more natural. Mono room. Not about that really. Stereo room. just a little bit. All right, let's see that in context. The other drum, or the overheads at least. Great, sounds amazing. Next one. Let's go through and do the top mic here. Yes, I know some will be removed. It's okay. Snare, I mean the first tom, the rack tom. So load these up. Perfect. All right, and let's see what these sound like. Less detail. So actually picking those up. All right, and then same thing, blending. One more natural. Great. All right, those are everything together. And now our samples with the overheads. See what that sounds like. So much more defined, right? So if we're playing a part here. All right, and now let's just bring in these fake rooms so we can see. There you go. And like I said, these are raw samples. And so the only thing that I really did was on the kick, I mixed the kick a little bit. But everything else is completely dry, completely in. And it's going to help you get a clearer sound at the end because you're cutting out that bleed. You're getting a hit that is more focused and not just in the heat of the moment. And all the other great reasons to use samples, right? So this is my first sample pack. This is not something you just have to use by itself. You should take these samples and take other samples and blend them together, come up with new sounds, all that kind of stuff. This is just showing you what the sample pack can do on its own. And I think it can do a lot. These are my go-to samples right now, and I'll use them to blend with other processed samples, other unprocessed samples, all this stuff, and it's just to get the sound you want. So currently, the samples are available at my store for $15. You can go over there and purchase them. You'll get a download link immediately, and the link for that's in the description below. However, before you do that, giveaway. So we've reached 1,000 subscribers, and to say thank you, I'm giving away 3 packs of these samples, okay? Now, the samples come with all the trigger files you just saw, and then it comes with 4 hits of each microphone or each, areas, the rooms, all that stuff. Comes with 4 hits of each in wave format as well, so if you want to use one shots, you can. So comes with trigger files and wave files. It comes with 4 drums, 5 different microphones for the kick and snare, and then 4 different for both the toms, okay? So I'm giving away 3 packs of those. Now, to enter, what you have to do is number one, have to be subscribed to the channel. So make sure you hit subscribe. You have to like this video, and then you have to comment below and tell me, I don't know, what your favorite pack of samples is, how you mix drums, anything. Just tell me something about you and your audio production career or hobby or whatever. And then in a week from now, I will pick a random comment or random 3 comments, and those people will get sample packs. So if you're anxious and you want to go and pick them up, they're $15. Link is below. If not, just enter the contest, and I will tell you guys who wins next week. We're going to jump back into how to mix metal drums as well. Sorry, we had a little detour from that. I was trying to get this stuff ready for you guys, and we'll jump into that next week, and it'll be all great. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next time.